Gotta wait for mommy to get done. So it sounds like somebody is going number one in the background.
I'm done. I'm gonna throw my hair. Gotta get the giggles out, okay? No giggles.
Hey guys, so obviously not in the garage today. I have my little future wrench bender here with me today. He was going to try and be quiet on camera, right, until he's supposed to. Okay. Anyways, so I had a handful of people ask to see the picture documentary of the Fiero. And so before I let loose with the pictures, I want to give a little bit of background, a little bit of information so you understand what you're looking at. I started building the Fiero when I was in my late 20s, so it was really my first big project. I did do the lawnmower racing before that, so I kind of took the Fiero on and found out that I was very quickly kind of out of my depths of where I previously was. So a lot of reading on Pontiac Fiero forum. I'm sure some of you hardcore Fiero guys know what that is. And I actually had a build thread on there once upon a time. I'd have to find it again. But went with the supercharged 3800. Actually, the first motor, I spun a rod bearing. Second motor, I had a bent crankshaft, and that's a whole nother story. Third motor, I built it right. I actually used some forged internals. Had some really serious headwork done, and some other stuff. If you see the pictures, if you guys are familiar with the inside of a 3800, then you'll realize that those parts ain't stock. So along with going through, I'm gonna say going through two motors and end up with the third one, I also started off on the original transmission and the original cradle. I ended up going to a 88 cradle, and you'll see that in the pictures. And then also I went to a different transmission. So I went to a Gettridge F23, and on the Gettridge F23, that was ran in the Cavaliers and Cobalts, but the Cobalts didn't have the right bell housing, but it did have the economy gear ratio, which was a 3.63 or 3.61. It's been a few years, okay? It was before he was even born. So the original, Cavalier gear ratio was 3.94, and I wanted the higher gear ratio. So what I done was I split the transmissions and used the Cavalier bell housing on the Cobalt transmission so I could get the final drive, which the gearing 1 through 5th is the same on those two transmissions, just the final drive that's the difference. So lots of different upgrades along the way, everything from a 90mm throttle body, California push-pull cables. I ordered some stuff from Rodney Dickman, so if you guys run Fieros, you know who that is. The Hurst shift kit, a lot of that stuff came from him. Done the coilover kits, and I mean there was at the time there was a lot of support for the Fiero stuff, and I don't know anymore because I've been out of that world. Wouldn't mind getting back in it sometime, maybe one of these days, because I did love the little car. But if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below, and I will try to answer them the best I can. And if you can find my build thread on the Fiero forum, but keep in mind watching this is that I've learned a lot since then. I am, hate to say this, but it's been over 10 years since I started building that car, so I would have done things differently if I had it to do over again. So I was a young kid figuring stuff out. I recommend to you guys, if you've not taken on a project and you're watching this video, that, you know, take one on. It's going to be difficult, it's going to be challenging. Find support where you can. Forums are a great area to find support, especially if you can find a few guys on there that'll answer your questions, that are willing to help and not willing to criticize. But stick it through. It's going to be difficult. There's going to be some nights I sat in the garage and thought, what have I got myself into? And I ended up with a car that was really cool and really fast, and I kind of wish I'd never sold it, but at the time I probably needed to because I didn't have the sense to drive it. So anyways, guys, thanks for recommending that I make this video if you're one of those guys, and thanks for watching, and
Well, like and subscribe.